Singapore's new cabinet has been sworn in, with Prime Minister Loong pledging that the government will evolve in tandem with the aspirations of a new generation of Singaporeans. This will involve accommodating more views, being flexible in its approach, and rolling out policies with heart. Some sacred cows may also be slaughtered, and one of the areas being reviewed is ministerial salaries.
I, Hsien, having been appointed to the office of Prime Minister, do solemnly affirm that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Republic of Singapore.
Singapore has ushered in a new phase in its political development. At the swearing-in ceremony held at the Istana on Saturday evening, President S.R. Nathan presented the instrument of appointments to the fresh team leading the country. The 25 office holders include 4 newly elected members of Parliament.
In its new term, the government must reach out and work together with Singaporeans from all backgrounds and address their needs and aspirations. It must put in a special effort to better understand the younger generation when shaping policies that affect them and the future of Singapore. At the same time, it must attend to the concerns of the senior generation who have helped build the Singapore of today.
It's also a theme weaved in Prime Minister Lee's speeches delivered in Malay, Mandarin and English.
The government cannot stand still. It must evolve in tandem with our society and our people. That is the best way for our government to serve and to govern, in accord with the spirit of the times and the aspirations and hopes of our people.
The recent general election saw the People's Action Party's vote share slip to a low of 60.1%. Observers have pointed to a more discerning electorate, clamouring for more emphasis on public engagement and social values beyond the promise of material wealth, something which Mr. Lee paid heed to. More than that, Mr. Lee said the government's new approach must be flexible, thoughtful and compassionate. And where policies have unintended consequences, it must be put right.
We will take a totally fresh look at our problems and policies and rethink what's necessary and best for Singapore's future. We will address the issues preoccupying Singaporeans, such as healthcare, housing or immigration. We will review both the policies and their implementation, as well as our broader approach to tackling these issues. We must move quickly to address pockets of urgent need, even as we think through the more difficult long-term challenges. Though Singaporeans trust that our policies are mostly sound, nothing should be sacrosanct.
And that includes ministerial salaries. Singapore ministers are one of the highest paid in the world, and this has attracted its fair share of criticisms. Mr. Lee said he has appointed a committee to review this.
We will always need committed and capable ministers. Politics is not a job or a career promotion. It's a calling to serve the larger good of Singapore. But ministers should also be paid properly in order that Singapore can have honest and competent leadership over the long term. I know that Singaporeans have genuine concerns over their present salaries. Hence, I'm appointing a committee to review the basis and the level of political salaries.
And he promised to engage all segments of society offline and online.
I pledge to work together with all Singaporeans to create a just and fair society, which gives all citizens the best start in life and leaves no one behind. A Singapore which is open to the world, yet puts Singaporeans first. A Singapore which excites our young and respects our old. A society that nurtures and inspires the human spirit beyond material success.
With changes to the political system, the new parliament will also see 9 opposition members of the House. But Mr. Lee said with more diverse voices, Singapore politics should not become confrontational or divide the society.
Our political system can and must accommodate more views, more debate, and more participation. At the same time, it's absolutely crucial for Singaporeans to stay united on the big issues, understand the fundamental realities facing a small country in Southeast Asia, and work together to develop and implement the best solutions for our country.
In many ways, expectations are high for the Prime Minister and his new team. They would certainly be cautious about under-delivering or simply changing for the sake of change. What's certain is that tonight's ceremony marks the start of a challenging road ahead for Singapore's new government.
And our reporter May Wong joins us live from the Istana. May, we heard more details tonight about this new era opening up for Singapore. How has all this been received?
Well, this new era of change is something that was extremely well received by the Singaporeans present. About 700 people were here as guests, and they included diplomats, students, as well as workers and businessmen. And they all talked about how Prime Minister Lee actually showed sincerity as well as honesty in wanting to execute real change. Another message that resonated very well with the Singaporeans present was the fact that he said he wants to work even more closely with Singaporeans to take the nation forward in a more challenging as well as complex environment. The other point that was brought up was the fact that he wants to convene a committee to review the political salaries, and that was something that a lot of Singaporeans said was surprising, but that shows a true commitment of wanting more change. And so this kind of a changing attitude is something that Singaporeans are looking forward to. And so now let's take a listen to what some of them had to say earlier.
I think the Prime Minister has stated very clearly that we want to build a government that is open, consultative and responsive to the needs of our people, and that we welcome diverse viewpoints, and at the same time we've got to make sure that we stay united as a people.
I think it's not just about changing things, it's also about strengthening the things which we also hear that many Singaporeans feel that many of the policies make a lot of sense. But policies in the main cater to broad part of the population, but there are people that may not fall within that group. So what do we do to cater to that? And that's where the flexibility will come in.
His speech gave us, I think, more confidence, and hopefully that when we approach all these ministries, we can get help. Not so much restricting on to like how much is our income.
And that was May Wong with a live report from the Istana.